to tutorial. Today, I'll be discussing a little bit about Octoprint. This was recommended to me by numerous people, and I can say that I'm glad I did it. It saved a lot of hassle. It's provided a lot of information for me, and I'm just going to kind of show you how I use it anyways. As you can see here, we are on the main screen. That shows your temperatures. You see the temperature graph for red in the hot end, and blue is the bed. You can see that there is a little fluctuation in the bed. I just haven't gotten around to adding that silicone heat bed yet because I just can't decide where I want to put the MOSFET. So we'll get that to at a later date. Over here you see the file name, which today happens to be a TPU octopus. And it is time-lapsed at 10 seconds. It tells you how much filament you're going to use and about approximately how long the print is going to take. As you can see right here, the total print time so far is here. Print time left is a guesstimate, and it says 15 minutes, and it tells you, and some of this stuff we'll go over in a little bit, but it will tell you how much it costs based on what you enter. So if we go back, let's see. Okay, here we go. I recommend everybody always, if you print in numerous materials like I do, ABS, PETG, PLA, TPU, etc. It's always good to label those folders and put your files inside them so you know that it was printed with that material. Next, we'll go on to the control tab. You see I do have a camera hooked up, and it is watching that octopus. You can do a lot of stuff with Octoprint, guys. You can move your X, Y, and Z around. You can extrude, retract, turn your fans off, your motors off, all that kind of stuff. Adjust your feed rate, your flow rate. And as at the very top here, you see I do have a little kind of thing here that shows me what's going on. Next, we'll go to the G-code viewer so you guys can see this. Take a minute for it to load up here. Give it just a second. And there you can see it is showing, let's zoom in on that, what the printhead is doing. You can see it moving around. And down here it gives you a little bit about the model information, the size of the model, approximate print time, the layer height you're using, the layer number, how many G-code commands, how much filament you're using, all that kind of cool stuff. So it's, like I said, it's really neat. Then you have the terminal interface, which I really enjoy because without this or Prompterface or Repetier host, you have no way to interface with that, which is kind of nice. Next is the time-lapse tab. I do have it on at the moment, but if you do have you obviously will have a Raspberry Pi if you have Octoprint. But if you get a camera, you don't need the special Raspberry Pi camera. I had one. I went through forever looking for a decent mount that I couldn't find. So in the end, I just bought a small Logitech HD camera, and I did that. It will encode it. You can choose how you want to do it. And it also, this is a plugin I have. It's called the History plugin. You can see, as you see, the Raspberry Pi camera code's in there, but it records everything that you've done. And prints per day, you see I do have some failures where I have to stop them or whatever. I guess shit happens. I pumped a lot of material through this machine so far. Now we'll go into some of the other things here. Okay. Now you'll see there's a serial connection, which is the USB and that type of stuff. Printer profiles, you have to add your own. Again, not a big deal. Temperatures. You can set different things, like you see I have ABS, PLA, and PETG all set just for presets in there. Those I don't use. I don't use a lot of those because I don't slice with this. Some features, you have the temperature graph, model size detection, if it will warn you if it's too big. Enable SD support, automatic firmware protection. It says here, if enabled, Octoprint, we're trying to figure out your printer's firmware automatically and adjust a couple of communication parameters based on that. If that doesn't work out, you want to try radio control, uncheck this. I use that all the time. It's just me. A bunch of webcam settings and time-lapse recording settings, access control. G-code visualizer, your API, just some other random stuff in here. Logs, and then the plugin manager. This is kind of really cool, guys. If you click this Get More thing here, there are just tons and tons of stuff that you can get. You know, there is an EEPROM one. I use quite a few of these. And apparently my mouse is being ridiculous. As you can see, I'll scroll through some of them so you can see. You know, let you know when it's done, that kind of stuff. Power supply, push bullet. Room temperature on the Navibar. SMS notifier, I haven't tried that yet. Status line. Temperature failsafe. A lot of these guys I haven't used. Here's one, let me see if I can find it here. Oh, well, I can't find it. We'll skip it. Software update. See, these are some of the ones that I do use. Cost plugin, the editor, that kind of stuff. The EEPROM Marlin plugin. Email notifier plugin. I've never got that to work. Ever. There is a slicer plugin, obviously. Touch UI is if you want to use your phone. It's really good. Announcement thing, just blah. Here's that cost plugin. You figure out, you know, what you want to cost and that kind of stuff. Marlin plugin editor, good stuff again here. You can adjust all kinds of stuff without having to type anything in. I personally don't use that, but I have it anyways. Email notifier, navbar temperature, history plugins, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is just a great thing here, guys. I hope if you do get the extra cash or extra time, I hope you do invest in a Raspberry Pi with Octoprint. I am partial to Octoprint. I haven't tried Astroprint, but you know, maybe I will. You know, all it takes is another micro SD card and slap that baby in there and give it fired up. All right, guys. Happy Easter. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Happy making.